Hey everybody, it's Bobby Nahum here with AMAC Real Estate Company. Hope everybody is having a fantastic year so far here in 2024. We are here again today to talk a little bit about Tallahassee's local real estate market. I'm going to be giving you guys an update on how things are going. We're going to look at some real estate related metrics from the fourth quarter of 2023. We're going to compare those to the fourth quarter of 2022 just to kind of see how our market is doing and see what direction it's headed in. We're also going to talk about some broader real estate related topics and important things that are going on in the national real estate market, as well as talk about some broader economic data and issues that are going on that have an impact on our local real estate market as well. And I'm going to give you guys kind of an idea of what I see, how I see the local real estate market here playing out for the next few months, and then also give you some tips if you're looking to buy or sell a home in our local market. But basically, the purpose of today's video is to arm you all with good information about our local real estate market so that y'all can make good decisions when you're buying or selling a home here in our local market here in Tallahassee. So just to kind of start out, just to kind of give you guys a summary of what we saw in the fourth quarter here in Leon County with the residential real estate market. So we did see a pretty big shift in the market in the fourth quarter. The main shift had to do with inventory levels. So we actually saw a pretty big jump in inventory levels. When I say inventory levels, I mean the number of homes listed for sale. We saw a really big jump in the fourth quarter, which is a pretty stark reversal of what we have been seeing basically over the last 5 years. Since 2019, essentially, we have not seen the number of properties listed for sale go up. So the number of available properties for sale has been going down for about 5 years. And even the increase that we saw in 2019 was really a one-off. It was, I think, one quarter in 2019. We saw a small year-over-year increase. In the several years even before that, inventory levels had been going down. Really, it's the increase in the inventory we saw here in Leon County in the fourth quarter was the largest increase since 2014. So I think 2014, it was the second or third quarter of 2014 was the last time we saw a pretty large increase. Back then we saw a 9% increase in the number of homes listed for sale, but that's been 9 years, and ever since then inventory levels have been going down. So the fact that inventory levels are going up, that's a pretty big change. The other thing is home sales continue to go down, and in fact home sales in the fourth quarter were at the lowest level in 10 years actually, since the fourth quarter of 2013. But silver lining to that is it does appear that we may be bottoming out in terms of number of home sales, and I think in the next year we should probably expect to see home sales start to go up, which is good. Home prices continue to go up, although at a slower rate than what we had been seeing over the past couple years, and all the other metrics that we're going to talk about were fairly stable. So let's get in though and just jump into the first metric I want to talk about, which is number of properties listed for sale. So in the fourth quarter, we saw a 9% jump in the number of properties listed for sale. Again, it's the largest increase since 2014. It's the first increase, period, in the number of properties listed for sale since 2019. So obviously, the biggest challenge in our market over the last few years has been lack of available properties for sale. So the increase in inventory is very welcomed into our real estate market. We need more homes for sale. It's a big deal, because one of the biggest challenges is buyers just don't have enough properties for sale. And this, in a way, is kind of locking up the market because it's causing home sales to go down, because buyers look out there and they see that there's not enough homes for them to feel like, all right, I'm going to jump into the market now. So a lot of buyers are just holding off. But now, perhaps with the increase in the number of properties for sale and that likely to continue to go up, we'll probably see more home buyers jump back in the market, and home sales should go up as a result of the increase in inventory. So, and that's it with regards to inventory. So the next metric I want to talk about is home sales. So home sales dropped in the fourth quarter of 2023 compared to the fourth quarter of 2022 by 2%. So it was a 2% year-over-year drop in home sales. Again, it was the slowest pace of home sales in the fourth quarter of last year that we had seen since the fourth quarter of 2013, so 10-year low. But again, it appears that we may be hitting the bottom, and the reason I say that is because even though home sales declined by 2% in the fourth quarter, that's down from the third quarter of 2023 when annual home sales decreased by 17%. So from the third quarter to the fourth quarter, we went from a 17% drop in home sales to only a 2% drop in home sales, which is a big difference. Even though we're still down, it appears home sales are starting to flatten out, and I think in 2024 we'll start to see home sales go back up. And again, I think this is probably a result of an increase in housing inventory. The fact that we have more homes going up for sale is bringing more buyers back into the market, and I think we'll continue to see that trend in 2024. So again, this is good for home buyers because you're going to get more. You'll have more negotiation power since there's more homes on the market. You won't have to be as in much of a rush to feel like you have to get an offer on property today, because knowing that there's more homes out there available for sale. So it just kind of takes a little bit of pressure off buyers, and it will help kind of move our market not out of a seller's market, but you'll give buyers a little bit more negotiating power than what we've seen over the last few years. So home prices in the fourth quarter were up by 5% year over year. This is what I would consider a healthy annual increase in home prices. You'll probably heard me say this before, but historically, home prices average about 4% year over year increase. So at 5%, we're kind of right there, maybe just slightly above the historical average for home price appreciation. It's definitely a sustainable level. I'd say since since the first quarter of 2021, we've been seeing home prices just skyrocket. I mean, it's like double-digit annual increases in home prices almost every quarter since the early part of 2021. And that's obviously not a sustainable pace for home prices to continue going up, because people's wages are only going up 4 or 5% a year, and if home prices continue to go up at double the rate of people's incomes, eventually no one's going to be able to buy a home. So we do like home appreciation, but it needs to be at a rate that's sustainable, and I think by the rate at which homes are going up in value is coming down is good. It's going to give people's incomes the ability to catch up with home prices. I think that going forward in 2024, we'll probably see home prices come down even more, especially as inventory levels rise, the supply of homes goes up, and it kind of pushes the market a little bit more in the favor of buyers. That's going to ease home prices. I think likely in 2024 we'll see annual home price increases of probably in the 2 to 3% range, which again is good because we need people's incomes to catch up with home prices. So the next metric I want to talk about is the sale price to list price ratio. So this measures on average how much a home sells for compared to the home's asking price. So in the fourth quarter of 2023, we saw the average sale price to list price ratio come in at 98.57%. So that means that homes on average are selling for 98.57% of the asking price here in Leon County. So that's pretty high. Again, that's indicative that we are in a seller's market still. It's up just slightly from the year prior. In the fourth quarter of 2022, the average sale price list price ratio came in at not only 98.27%, so we're up about 0.3% in the fourth quarter from a year earlier. And then the next metric is average number of days on the market it took to sell a home. So in the fourth quarter of 2023, it was 46 days, down just very slightly from the fourth quarter of 2022 when it took a home on average 47 days to sell here in Leon County. So pretty stable, not really any change in days on the market to speak of. The last metric I want to talk about is distressed sales. So distressed sales y'all, are usually foreclosures or short sales, but they can be really any type of sale where the sale itself lends to the property selling for under market value. So think like bankruptcy sales, tax deed sales, perhaps even estate sales. Sometimes divorce sales can be considered distress sales. Distress sales are not good because they usually sell for under market value, and that causes nearby property values to go down as well. But the good thing is distress sales in Leon County in the fourth quarter only made up 1.8% of total sales. It's very low. That is basically on par with what's historically normal. The year before, in the fourth quarter of 2022, distress sales only made up 1.56% of sales. So we had a slight uptick in distress sales, but still distress sales are not, they just are not having an impact on our market. They're so low, they're really immaterial at this point. But it's good to continue to monitor that, to monitor this metric to see if they go up. Obviously, if we see an uptick in distress sales, it's a bad sign for the real estate market. So we'll continue to monitor that going forward. So looking forward, I think there are a couple things that we should probably pay attention to. The main thing that we should probably pay attention to determine what's going to happen to the real estate market is inflation. So really inflation is really driving the real estate market, and in a lot of ways driving the whole broader economy right now. Basically, if inflation, right now inflation's at about 3% or just under 3%. The Federal Reserve, who controls the interest rates essentially, they have said that inflation needs to get down to 2%, and it needs to stay down at 2% for a little bit before they'll drop the federal funds rate. So the federal funds rate controls interest rates on a lot of different things like credit cards and things like that, and it has an indirect effect on mortgage rates too. So if the Federal Reserve decides to keep rates where they're at, then we're probably going to see mortgage rates continue to stay in the 6 to 7% range for the remainder of the year. If the Federal Reserve decides to start dropping rates because they see inflation coming down to 2%, then it's likely we'll see mortgage rates come down a little bit. So if mortgage rates do come down, if the Fed drops the federal funds rate and mortgage rates start coming down, that will have a pretty big impact on the market. It'll cause home sales to go up, and we'll also see more listings. Essentially, it'll basically unlock the market. Home sales, it's very easy to explain that. If interest rates come down, then it's more affordable for people to buy homes, and we'll see more home sales because of that. But also, you have a whole lot of people who own homes right now that don't want to sell because they don't want to lose their low rate. And at a 7% rate, going from a 3 or 4% rate to a 7% rate, it's a hard pill to swallow. But if the rates come back down in the low 6s or even in the high 5s, I think a lot of those people who have kind of wanted to sell for a while but just have been holding off because of the rate difference, they might decide to jump into the market and sell their house. So we would also see more homes for sale if the rates come down too. So that's important to watch what's going on with inflation. My prediction and what I think is going to happen this year, that's likely, I think that the interest rates are going to remain above 6%. I think that home prices will continue to go up a little bit, but they'll go up at a much slower rate, probably like 2 to 3% annual increase in home prices. Home sales, I think, will go up slightly from 2023, but very, very slightly. I think it'll be kind of a similar year to last year, but only slightly better. Now, if you're buying or selling a home in this market, so if you're selling a home, it's going to be a seller's market, but not like it was over the past few years. Multiple offers will no longer be the norm. I think they'll be kind of the exception. However, if you are selling your home and you price your home appropriately based on recent sales comps and based on what other competing homes are selling for, you should be able to sell your home fairly quickly and for close to the asking price. But you do need to expect that it may take a little bit longer to sell your home in today's market than it has over the past couple of years. Also, don't be surprised, even if you have to make some concessions along the way, such as making certain repairs or even possibly paying for some closing costs for the buyer. I'm seeing a lot more of that in the market right now. If you're buying a home, it's still going to be a competitive market for you, but you will have more homes to choose from and a little bit more bargaining power than you had a year ago. When you find a home that you want to make an offer on, don't assume that you need to offer above the asking price. Don't go into it assuming that. This is not 2022 or 2023 even anymore. Do your research on recently sold comparable homes in the neighborhood, and find out also if there's any offers on the home before you place your offer. If there are not any offers, you may be able to negotiate some, and in even some cases where there are multiple offers, you still may be able to negotiate some. Just because there's multiple offers doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go above the asking price, so just keep that in mind. However, homes that are in good areas and are in good condition and that are priced right may still get multiple offers and may still go above the asking price. So if you feel like you're making an offer on a home and you feel like it's priced real good and it's got multiple offers and it's in great condition, you may want to consider still going above the asking price in order to get the home if you feel like by doing so you're not overpaying. The key, if you're buying those, really to know what the recent comparable sales are. That's really key to deciding on what offer you want to make. And as a home buyer, your best strategy for succeeding is to have your financing ready, even prior to going and looking at home. So if you're going to be getting a mortgage, have your pre-qualification letter. If you're paying with cash, have a proof of funds statement ready to submit with an offer. Also, you need to learn about and study the market where you're looking to buy in. Every local market is a little bit different, so you need to know the ins and outs of the particular real estate market where you're making an offer on the property in. And most importantly, like I said before, know what homes are selling for so you can know what is a good deal and what's not a good deal in the market that you're looking to buy in. And lastly, be patient if you're looking for a home. Even though inventory levels are going up, inventory levels are still tight. So you just need to be patient and wait for the right property to come up and understand that it may take a little bit longer to find the right home. And that's pretty much it, y'all. I hope that concludes the quarterly market update for our Tallahassee real estate market. Again, if you guys have any questions about anything, feel free. You can reach out to me. You can email me. You can leave a comment on this YouTube channel. You can text me or even give me a call. And again, if you like the content on this video, hit the subscribe button to my YouTube channel and give me a like as well, and even leave a comment if you'd like to. And again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys. I guess it'll be in April when I come out with the first quarter 2024 real estate market report. Thanks, and have a good day.